Yeah, welcome to another edition of the Blue Green Ocean Road. Blah blah blah. Whatever, man.
Blah blah blah.
What do you got?
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's happening?
It's warmer today, huh?
Yeah, about 5 degrees. I'll take it. It was about it got up to about 59 here yesterday. Went out for a walk. Stayed on the sunny side of the road. It's actually very pleasant, but when I got back, I started to get the chill. I had to bundle up quickly.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Floating high above the earth, high as a bastard as usual.
Not yet.
How's it going, boys?
What's up, Mike?
You guys are a
What'd
little
you do
blurry.
last night? Anything interesting?
No, nothing at all.
I finished the Count of Monte Cristo, which was a big
Count of Monte
giant book.
Cristo.
That book
Was
is
it?
great.
The account of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, it's fucking justice porn, man. Like everybody gets what they got coming to them. Not like in real life. No, it was
Well, it's
sweet.
probably written in a time when people felt they've got very little justice in just about everything.
Well, that never
Like
changed.
now.
You, that's like I was watching reviews after. Like I didn't want to watch any any reviews before I read it, even though I kind of knew the ending. And so like it's funny. Like there was like a black lady. She was talking. She was just talking about justice. Like they don't get any now. So it's sort of like justice porn to them. I mean that was the important part to her anyway. She liked that. And I like that. I like that a lot. I knew right at the beginning, um, it had me, but I knew the ending. So I don't know. I knew these guys were going to get it good. And you instantly hate them. The first one is this guy on the ship. He's like a guy he works with. He's out to get him. He's just like you all have these in your life, right? You have the coworker who's trying to stab you in the back, right? And you got the law handcuffing you for weed or whatever the fuck, right? You know what I mean? It's all these entities that you just can't fuck. Oh, there's the guy who wants your girl, right? That motherfucker, you know. So there's all three. There's these three guys, right? And then they get him thrown in fucking jail for 14 years. He goes half nuts, and then he comes out. Well, do you guys know the story at all?
No.
Well,
But
he ends up.
yeah, I think I saw a movie once
Yeah, no, you didn't.
years ago.
Then you don't know the story. The new one's good. There's actually one that came out 2 months ago. The French did it. It's in French. That's great. It's a 3 hour movie, and I got to read it again. But I'm gonna rent it later. I'm getting that one. Plus, it's in French. I saw just the clips, and it's in French. And they had one with
The
Guy Pearce in
bastards.
'02. What's that?
The bastards. Imagine making a French movie in French.
Well, yeah, they didn't
How
dub it.
inconsiderate.
Well, they didn't dub it because nobody here is gonna fucking watch it. You know.
I hate when they dub it. I'd rather read the subtitles.
We could do both, Mike.
Well, because
Yeah.
the actors that they got are better actors than the voice actors, the dub actors, if you know what I
And the
mean. So
voices are kind of fucked too because you listen to them on both accounts. Like I'll switch back and forth just to hear what voices they use, and the actors' voices are much better than the dub
yeah, they're
voices.
much better at the emotion and they're much better at the acting. I mean, both people have to act, but they got a really good actor
Yeah.
for the movie for the and the dub person isn't so good because they're just somebody who can happens to speak English.
And the background noise, the ambient noise of the scene suffers because they dub that away in favor of
That's
speaking
right.
parts, and so it kind of takes away from the movie a bit.
Yeah, I'd rather just read the subtitles and hear the language as it was.
But, but I'm sorry, Dave. It sounds really good. I'd like to see the French version.
The
Oui, oui.
when I was in Italy, they dub everything, right? I mean, damn near everything. Everything like all of Europe does. Everybody does. But their dubbing industry is way better than ours. I mean, because that's what they do. Like I was just blown away by how the lips sync up with the Italian. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
know this movie. Like I watched Terminator 2 there, right? and I was just blown away because I'm watching it on the screen. So I'm looking, and it's like, Jesus Christ, these guys are syncing it up like perfectly. But it's funny. There was some like he goes that party says, Jesus, you're gonna kill that guy. And he says, of course, I'm a Terminator, right? But in Italian, it says, Certamente sono Terminator. So I was fucking laughing my ass off.
Well, like I can switch back and forth a lot, and I have like the dialogue underneath anyway, and so sometimes the dubbing doesn't sync with the dialogue, but they
Oh
have to
wow.
sync. They have to change the dialogue to meet the the lip sync, to sync the lips with.
Oh
So
yeah.
the dialogue's changed quite a bit just to make it sync, I guess. And
I like how they did it
yeah,
in the spaghetti westerns. They had one, every other line. One line would be in English and one line would be in Italian. So like Clint Eastwood is talking to a guy, but Clint Eastwood's speaking English and the guy he's talking to is speaking Italian. So when they dub it, half of the words fit, right? Half of them don't.
yeah,
It's also those movies didn't just have Italian actors; they had like Spanish actors, they had French actors. Like
yes,
everybody
that's
speak
great.
like
Yes,
Dario Argento. All his actors were from all over the fucking place, right? And then they were all just, and you can only get an English version. There isn't another version of the thing. They made them, and it was in English, and that's it. I guess
Wow.
they dubbed them again for the markets in Europe, But I mean, it was released in English with this company that does that, right? And like all of his are like that. It's kind of charming, like in a way, it becomes sort of a like with his movies, it's okay,
Yeah,
you
it's
get
fine.
used to it. It's almost like you can't imagine it without it now, So like Superior. Did you watch the original Superior, George?
yes.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Oh, you mean the Argento version?
Yeah,
Yes, they did.
that's cool, right? I mean, he was
Yes.
like just the scenery, like the blood, of course, is like bright red, but you watch like some of the sets. Like there was this one lady's apartment and it had like this beautiful wallpaper. I'm watching the wallpaper. That's what I'm looking at. All his movies are like that, and like he had these really clever ways of like you don't really think about it, but he used booms, like he'd be at a window and then go to another window in the house, and it'd be just slowly going up the outside of it, right? You don't really, I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool, I mean, he was doing stuff that nobody else was doing. Yeah, I like all his flicks, but the remake was excellent. That's a remake that's worthy of watching. Superior. You have them, Mike.
I've never seen that.
There's a whole directory called Dario Argento. It's the whole directory.
Okay.
It's evident. It's all what I just said. But one of the
This
movies isn't his. It's Superior. It's the remake, but I just threw it in there anyway. It's in that directory, and that one's a really good one. That one's fucking great. You don't have to watch the first one first. You can watch
Who made that one?
I don't remember, but Tilda Swinton's in it. There's a bunch of people in the fucking thing, and it takes place in Berlin. There's this dance school that's right next to the wall, and all it does is rain, and they're witches. They're witches.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. And they dance.
They dance naked.
They dance naked.
Nice.
So there's that. Now
Well, that'll make me watch it.
Now Mike's going. He's going straight to it. He's going to do a B-lane right after this.
You better believe it.
Naked dancing Italian ladies.
That's superior. What else are you gonna say? How can
Yeah.
you top that?
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly's in one of his movies when she's really young.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, these are good. They're really good. Her movie, unfortunately, when I saw that one, they have a chimpanzee, right? And I'm going, oh Jesus, you don't want to. You really don't want to act with. You don't. They're not good. So I was listening to the commentary track because I thought, see, that must have been tough. And then Dario Argento and them, they're talking about the fucking monkey and what like a nightmare it was, and like somebody got bit. I mean, I think they had to shoot it dead somewhere during the flick. I don't remember all.
Oh man.
Yeah. The thing was, it would just attack you. They will. they decide they don't like it, and they can tear your arms out of your sockets because
Oh, they can make a mess out of you very easily.
yeah,
Yes.
they know all the key spots too, eyeballs, balls, all the
Yeah.
balls.
Yep.
They know.
They could chew your balls off
They do. That's the
and
bite
let
size.
you live. Just so you have to live with no balls.
Yeah. Well, you're
To
not going
rip
to be a
your face
problem
off,
anymore.
literally. That one lady had a chimp and ripped her face off.
Yeah. And she knew that monkey.
Jealous.
They felt
Yeah,
comfortable.
well,
around
she
her.
was jealous.
It just suddenly lost its mind. They don't know what happened. The owner
Well-
that loved it was stabbing it. Couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. The only thing they said, they called it life-changing injuries. That's what they described it as. And you could just picture, like her nose missing, maybe a big chunk of her cheek, Fuck.
I
So
think
anyway,
she had a
there's
face
that movie.
transplant eventually.
The movie with the monkey in it.
Well, Argento's daughter's pretty hot. Asia Argento.
They're
You
in
might
there too.
know
All
her.
her movies when she
Yeah.
branched off, Triple X,
Yes.
all those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her commentary track's great. They all have commentary tracks, but hers are really good. She's cool. She's Dario's kid.
Yeah. I'll have to check her out. I'll check out the commentary
They're in there,
tracks.
yeah. Yeah, her movies are good too. She did one with Vin Diesel. I think it's Vin Diesel. It's sort of those race car movies they make. Vin
Yeah.
Diesel
Yeah.
makes. What are they? Fast and Furious.
Yep.
Oh, this is like a precursor. It's sort of like. I don't know. It's similar.
It's kind of
What is
quick,
he up? Like,
quick and annoyed.
Yeah.
what do they got? Like about 20 sequels to that movie now, or
That,
something
yeah.
like that.
But Triple X there's only one of them. That's the only one she did with him. I think he's in it. I think maybe I'm just putting Vin Diesel in the flick. I don't remember what the guy was. I remember her, but I don't remember him. It might be him.
Vin Diesel like.
Yeah,
Actor.
Vin Diesel I like him in Pitch Black. That is great.
Yes. That's
love
what
that
made
movie.
his career, I think. That's what got him on the map,
Got me
was that-
watching him.
that role.
The other Riddick sucked.
Now-
I didn't like them that much. Well, they don't suck, but I didn't like them.
Now he's
Yeah,
like, I think he's got like a twin brother that does some of his stunts, doesn't
yeah?
he? I think I heard somewhere he's got like a twin.
He's the
I
star
could
and he
be
makes
wrong.
his brother do all the stunts. That's nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it gets him in the business, gets him on the payroll
of
anyway.
course, right?
You know?
It's because his brother's some work, man.
Yeah.
Says, you don't want me to get hurt.
At
I
least-
gotta deliver lines. I can't deliver lines if I'm in pain.
I was watching this you know how you got like those like the detective movies, that you get this ace detective that solves, a murder mystery.
Yeah.
I mean, all of literature, Agatha Christie, and a lot of movies, Thin Man, all of these, it's a really, very popular sort of kind of story. Netflix made like a 6 or 8 part one about a woman, ace detective, who tries to solve a murder at the White House, and it was like beautifully filmed and whatnot, but they're like so tedious. There's like so many plot twists and stuff. Like I started to get a headache trying to watch the damn thing, I was like, come on. But it's like really nicely done. I mean, beautiful production values, nice cast and stuff, but it's brand new on the Netflix. But geez, sometimes they try to be too clever, and it's
Yeah.
like,
I usually sit there and go, seen it. I know it's coming. Yep, seen it.
yeah,
Oh,
But
I never saw that. I didn't saw that one
Spielberg, it's
coming.
like if you watch a Spielberg movie, you can count. You know his timing, and you know when the scary thing's going to
Yeah.
jump out at you.
All his
you know,
beats.
You know his beats. You go, all right,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, there it is, and then
Yep.
someone goes,
Next
whatever.
scene is something cute. Like,
that's right.
Something cute.
It lulls you into a sense of complacency, and then 1, 2, 3, boom, scared.
Yep.
Dave Sherman described, was it Jurassic Park 3 or something that he did? and he goes, he said it was awful. There was one part where the girl does the gymnastics, right? But the other part was I don't know, it had like a jetpack or something flying out of control, and it swung around, and it heated some hamburgers on a grill, and they sizzled. That's the one he described to me. And when I saw the movie, the son of a bitch, it really is there. I mean, I believed him, but I mean, I really didn't. I don't know what I believed. It just didn't seem like it belonged in a fucking Jurassic Park movie. It didn't.
Is that the one where it's kind of like a Disney theme park, and they have all these people, and
I think it's
even
yeah, maybe.
No,
and
That's
that's
the
like
next
they
one.
even had like
that's a different island. That's more of a wild. They're just left to run wild on that island.
That's the next one, George.
that's the one with Jimmy Buffett
Pratt.
does a guest appearance, had like a little Margaritaville at that,
Oh
and
yeah, I
Jimmy
missed that.
Buffett does a cameo in that one.
I have no recollection of that except they had some kind of giant shark whale type dinosaur that came out of
Yeah,
the water
I think
and
that's
got
the one.
T-Rex at the
That's a
end.
mosasaur.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
That's
I
with
think
Chris
that is
Pratt
the
though.
one.
Yeah, that's with Chris
They're
Pratt.
all with Chris Pratt now,
No,
right?
this was
I think
still when the other guy was in it.
Jeff-
The
Jeff
chaos guy.
Goldblum.
Damn it.
Jeff Goldblum's daughter was the gymnast.
Thank you. That
Yes.
one. She does a gymnastic move in that shed.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a shed of fucking chainsaws or something. And she does a couple of loop-de-loops and kicks the fucking raptor right out of the shed. And then later, or maybe the same scene because it was ridiculous anyway, there was a jetpack and it came around flaming out of the jetpack, right? And it hit a grill that happened to have burgers on it. I guess maybe they were raw. I didn't catch that. It was too quick. But it went by and it sizzled. They sizzled. And I was just there.
boy, they're really jumping the shark with this friggin' movie series,
Yeah.
aren't they?
You know, really the only important parts of that are dinosaurs eating people.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we want to see. We want to
That's
see
right.
dinosaurs eating people. The rest of it is all just like, all right, get to the next part where the dinosaurs eat somebody.
They eat a lawyer.
Yeah, I love that part.
Oh, yeah, the toilet. He's on a toilet. It's the worst death yet.
Everybody hates the lawyers.
Oh, yeah. You put him on a toilet.
The lawyers and the bean
Hiding in the
counters.
toilet.
It's like it's also common too, like, they have to do the setup, they can't have somebody like massacred in the movie, not just Jurassic Park or anything like this. You gotta set them up to hate.
Yeah.
It's just like let's make this
Yeah.
character hateful, like they're just like, I want to see this guy die.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like I was watching Dances with Wolves the other night, and they're like these army guys are like shooting the wolf. They shot the wolf, so it's like when it comes to the massacre, when the
Yeah.
gets ambushed, yeah, kill them all. It's like they shot the fucking wolf,
Oh,
man.
they're going to cross the river, them dummies. Good. Cross the river.
I mean, you can
Cross the
kill a bunch
river.
of like natives if you want, but if you shoot the
You
wolf,
shot
man,
the wolf,
You shot
man.
the wolf,
You
you
killed a
bastard.
dog. A fluffy
Yeah.
little dog.
That's true. That's it.
yeah.
That's what we care about, man.
So they have to like set up the scene, to say why we want to. It's not just indiscriminate killing. We want to make sure you guys hate this.
No,
guy,
it was
you know?
that wolf. That fucking wolf. We've got
It
to
was
love
that
that
wolf.
wolf for like almost
That
the whole
fucking
movie.
guy.
That was our wolf. That was a wolf that liked
That was
people.
the friendly wolf.
Yeah,
Yes.
He was a good wolf.
it was a good wolf.
Yes.
Yeah, that movie was great. I read that book before I watched the movie, and it was spot on. That is the book.
That guy, he was living on Costner's couch. And he was unemployed and he's trying to be a writer. And finally, Costner's wife is like, how long is this guy going to be on our couch?
As they do.
And I don't know, he had some manuscript or something.
As they do.
And he said, look, man, you got to go. My wife, she's funny. And he says, yeah, you funny too now. And so anyway, he left and he worked on his manuscript and he sent it back to him. And then when he read it the second time, he's like, holy shit, this is good.
I knew it was his first book. It says that in the book. It says this is his first book. I went, this is his first book. This is fucking good.
Yeah.
Good first book. There was one part that wasn't in the movie. It was just made it longer. There was like the sacred woods they went into. It had little to do with anything else, but I think it had to do with what they did, and it was just info. They did this. There was something those Indians did, the Plains Indians. It was like I can't remember everything about it, but it was. I remember missing it. Going, oh, they're not going to do that, and that was and that was the only thing they didn't do. Everything else was there. Oh, the other thing is they shortened the beginning. That colonel that sends him out, right, gives him the orders and then shoots himself in the head. That just shortened a longer thing in the book. It's just easier just to have him go up to the window, go boom. We ain't got to worry about him.
He's the guy who gave the orders.
Yeah.
But now he's dead and nobody knows where he is.
Right.
Nobody knows he's out there.
They might have filmed that. It's just that they had to cut it down. The movie's almost 3 hours long.
That whole Civil War scene was really wild. That could have been longer.
Yeah,
it was really just to set him up. That more
could
than
have been
anything.
a mini series. Like
Yeah.
7 hour long scenes, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, the first episode would have been just that battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Everybody shooting at him the second time through, and they didn't notice that the Union guys were charging him. And that was all filmed like way out west too. Like they made it look like it was, Tennessee or wherever it was. They brought in all these corn. They brought in all these trees and painted the leaves so it looked kind of like it was autumn, and pretty wild. That whole set was made.
Yeah, he's just shoot me, just shoot me.
Yeah, rather than live a life without a leg.
Yeah,
or
fuck
foot.
that.
Yep.
It did hold up pretty well. I saw it. I hadn't seen it in years and years, and then I saw it again. It still holds up pretty well. Beautifully shot. I mean, some of those panoramic shots of the prairie and whatnot, and
The music does
the
it.
landscapes, just wonderful. Yeah, you're right.
Buffalo
The
Hunt.
soundtrack is good too.
I had that CD. I know that by heart, that fucker. I used to listen to I'd watch football playing that. It's a good soundtrack to play when you're watching sports.
Very stirring,
Yeah.
as they say.
It's epic. That shit lines up a lot. You know what I mean? It just does. The shit
Like the
just
Wizard of
lines
Oz
up.
and the Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, that'll do too. But not football. Oh, yuck. Wizard of Oz, yeah. Sure.
We were at Tim and Colleen's house, and we did that. We did the Wizard of Oz and the Dark Side.
Trip, right?
We had 5 CD changer, right? And the disc ends way before the movie's over, right?
Sure.
And then Alison Krauss CD drops on.
Yeah.
And son of a bitch, it all lined up too.
Damn it. How does that happen?
The thing she was singing about seemed to be happy. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, it's the shit. Remember we used to do that? We did that a long time ago. We just sit there in fucking Sean Tucker's apartment and we just had the TV on and play music.
Yeah.
That goes back forever. That's the way to do it. That's the only way to watch TV. With music playing or something else. Just anything else.
Hey, do you like that Yes songs?
Now,
Thing about the making of Yes
I
songs?
fucking hated that one. I sent you a better one. That narrator,
I've
I
yet
wanted
to
to punch
watch
him in
it.
the nose. He goes,
I don't like his opinions.
His
about the
opinion
songs.
sucked, and they were bugging me. Like he was
Right.
talking about Fragile and that door closing, right? And he says as if to say that's enough of that, right? And I went, yeah, that's enough of that. And I left, but I found a good one and I emailed it to you.
Okay.
A really
I
good
haven't
one.
watched
Actually,
it.
Chris Squires. I mean, there's band members talking instead of him saying what the band members saying.
What I liked about it was that you heard all these individual tracks.
Yeah, I like that.
I did
part,
like
but
that.
I couldn't.
That's all it was good for. I didn't like his opinions at all.
No, he
I
sucks.
didn't agree with him.
No, he.
Was he a contemporary, or
He's
was
a
he
British
just like
guy. They were doing a
just-
British.
a new,
fucking-
like a young guy who wasn't, who didn't experience the music firsthand when it first came out, and was first impressed by this
No,
stuff?
he's an older
Was
guy.
he like a young guy who's trying to reinterpret the?
No, he's an older guy, but
Past.
he's just
And,
some stupid
back
Brit.
then. It's old. It's an old documentary too.
Uh,
That's enough of that.
You
That
know,
was
it
like,
went on way too long. You know, so and so said it went on way too long, and I agree, it went on way too long. Fuck you, it did not. I thought it was great when I listened to it.
Yeah, that's my album. I don't want to hear that shit. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, there's another thing he said that he couldn't write. That's why he did the Brahms stuff. He couldn't write music or something like that. And then he said that it wasn't Wakeman yet. It was the keyboardist.
Oh, Tony
before-
Kaye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that he said the pianist said that he didn't like it. That he didn't like what his performance.
Oh yeah, because back then you understood that there was a lot more musicianship and creativity that was put into these things. It wasn't
Yeah,
reliant
you know-
on a lot of producers and a lot of like machine
It
magic
was the
and
last
stuff like
time
that.
it was the last time that bands were allowed to be creative without some penny pincher telling them what they should play because it sells better. That's what the 70s was. That brief period where bands were experimenting, and who knew, hey, who knows? Maybe it's a hit,
That's right. It's like that, like Frank Zappa describing those
Exactly.
old Jewish music men, the producers and stuff like that. I don't know, let's just see. Let's let them
Let's
do
put it
their
out.
thing and let's see if it sells. Yeah, let's see what the people if it picks up.
Then they get the hip long-haired guy in there, and he starts to be too safe.
Yeah.
Oh, was that a hit? Let's make all our records sound like that.
Movies too back then in the 70s.
Oh yeah, that was a golden time. I agree. That
They
was
tried everything.
I just watched Urban Cowboy last night for
Really?
the first time
Wow.
since I was a teenage.
That's
I remember
cool.
one of my disco cousins was telling me, like, well, Urban Cowboy's coming out, he's gonna like get rid of his disco wardrobe and buy like, cowboy
Oh.
boots and cowboy hat.
Wow, that symbolizes some of that 70s stuff like Taxi Driver and the French
7
Connection
Ups.
and things like that.
Bullet, Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry.
Right.
Fuck
It's-
me, that was a great movie. That Charger, I had that car. I had a '68 Charger. That's another
Electric
movie
Horseman.
where I had the car.
Yeah.
I had a '68 Charger, and it blows up at the
It's
end.
that isn't that like Peter Fonda and
Susan,
Brett Eklund or something
Susan
like
Gorgeous
that?
Blonde.
yeah, beautiful.
Susan Day,
Absolutely.
George. Susan. Yeah, last name was George.
Okay.
Susan something. Or
No,
something Susan.
Urban Cowboy I would have no interest in seeing again. I
That
saw
was
it once
another-
and I didn't like
That
it.
was another dance movie, basically,
Yeah,
Few dance
you're right.
moves, but it was still it was still the same as, what was the name of that other one, the big one? Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, my cousins were all into that because, well, they were Italians from the city who, they were disco boys,
Disco boy.
It made like being Italian with hair that went back like that really cool for a little while.
That's cool about listening to Zappa. He makes fun of disco all the time.
Yeah.
Disco boy.
Run to the
Yeah.
mirror and comb your hair.
I ain't doing that part. That's cool though. Oh no, I'm singing. Oh no.
Anyways, my cousin was telling me like he was going to get all these, cowboy hats were going to be in and all this stuff. And I'm like, you guys start wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots and cowboy clothes. It's just going to look fucking ridiculous. You come from Cranston, Johnston, North Providence. You never even been on a horse. Like, what the fuck is this now? So there was a club in Warwick where there was a number of dance clubs. It was right near my dad's house. And they had this like cowboy themed bar,
Two-step.
like
with the mechanical bull.
with the
and,
mechanical bull. It was right from that movie, like they were trying to recreate that. And it was for all the people.
We're
from
trying to
Cranston.
recreate Gillies, which is a big Texas bar
Yeah.
out there.
So it was in Warwick, but it was on the Cranston Warwick line. It was all these disco dudes in there dressed up like cowboys now, And I went in there and looking around like, not one of you have ever even petted a horse, never mind rode one.
You in there, Mike?
Yeah, I went in there.
Yeah, with your flannel shirt and your
Yep.
and your work boots.
Yep.
Look at this poser, man.
Look at these posers, you know. I grew up training horses, and these guys are like wearing cowboy boots, like boots that are designed to make it easy to get your foot in the stirrup and keep it there. You know,
You wear them?
well, suppose-
You wear them, Mike?
I did because there was a function at one of the bars right next to it, so I went in to see. You know, I just went in and looked around.
Oh, I mean now, like when you ride or anything.
What's that?
You have cowboy boots for riding on a horse and shit.
Yeah, sometimes I wear boots like that.
So you got a
lot of
pair.
times I wear my. Yeah, I do.
Oh, cool.
And a lot of times I wear my hiking boots. As long I can get the spurs on them, you know.
So what they look like? Are they pointy or are they square?
I have a pair that are pointy and I have a pair that are square.
What's on the point? Anything like a spur or a knife?
I had my uncle gave me a pair of boots that had some silver, a silver piece on the, and one in the back on the heel.
I had one pair I bought in Meridian, Mississippi when I was riding horses there. And I had them through the whole time. I mean, they went to the Philippines with me. I walked all over the fucking world in them. And then they were great in San Diego because there's snakes and there's desert. You want that.
Oh, yeah.
You want leather going up to your fucking, and you know, you can stomp something
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's why they're high like that, just
Yeah.
because of the snakes.
And then you're a little
And
taller too. I was a 6-footer then. You know what I mean? Went from my little 5'9" all the way up to a man.
Oh, to a man.
In my mind. I'm a man in my mind. Yeah, I bought them in Meridian, Mississippi in a mall. I bought
Yeah, they were.
I bought tomato that day. Also, and like I bought every time I got paid, I went in there and I bought a cassette. I bought Magical Mystery Tour. That's the first one. I might have bought that when I bought the boots because I got dressed. I went down there with no clothes. I had to buy jeans. I buy everything. And then I got tomato. I got a Pink Floyd one. Obscured by Clouds. This is all like experimental. You go, oh, Pink Floyd. Last time I did that, it was Ummagumma. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
It's just whatever. But it was never like Animals or Dark Side of, you know what I mean? It's like the one you wanted wasn't there. But they had this other thing. Actually, that's what happened to me with Ummagumma. That's the only thing they had, I think, Pink Floyd. When I went, that was the mall in Lincoln.
That was a cool album.
That's a prize. That's, yes.
But you know, those guys, it was like stupid because like it was always like that. You know, they were always weak on the good shit. You know, it wasn't like they were getting more either. They didn't even know what the fuck you were talking about half the time. You know.
I used to have to buy my albums at the mall in Chepachet. Remember that place?
No.
Oh yeah,
Chepachet
yeah.
Mall?
There was a mall.
Yeah.
They built a big post and beam barn
Yeah.
down behind the drugstore, behind the Purple Cat.
Oh, okay.
And they had little corners of it sectioned off
I know
to
you're
be
talking about
like
that.
a mall.
Right.
And they had a record store
I
in
was
there.
there once, and I wanted to. I was like, I think I was very young, like she's 13 or 14, and I wanted to go to see the. You know, was hardly anyone there. It just opened, and I wanted to go see the Panasonic stuff because back then Panasonic was
Yeah.
the shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I wanted to go in there. The guy wouldn't let me go in there because I looked like some ragamuffin.
Because you look like
He didn't
you.
want me to touch any of the shit, you know. I was like, well, fuck this place, man.
Whoa, buddy, where you going?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. That how long did that last? It didn't last maybe a year or two, or if
I don't know.
that.
It lasted a while. We go Christmas shopping, you know, and I always bought my my brother and my sister albums for Christmas. Get them an album, something they hadn't heard that I thought that they would like.
That's cool.
Oh, that was a solid gift back in the day, boy. That was a real solid gift.
Yep.
My Auntie Judy was good at that. My Andy's mother. One
Oh, yeah?
year she gave me, they were 8-tracks then. She gave me Who by Numbers.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Squeeze box. Auntie.
She didn't
Nice.
know. She didn't listen to it first.
No. You know what she said? She told me. She said she went in there. She described me and said, what would he like? And it was just up to some kid there to pick something out for me. She said, I got a nephew who's however the fuck old I was. I'm 14, 15.
He's smoking cigarettes. He's smoking pot.
I don't think she said that.
Injecting pot.
Inject, yeah. Mainlining the weed.
You know,
Oh my God.
Reefer Madness, man. Maybe that was in there. Maybe they saw that movie or they saw a movie. People are just as dumb now. It's just different
Oh, yeah.
fucking shit they're watching, you know? They think the world's flat.
Yeah, did you ever think that flat earthers would be a thing?
You ever worry about the shit you
No.
believe?
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. If you don't, man, you better.
I'm really scared. That's why I try not to believe anything. Then I'm
Well-
safe.
And the weird thing about substituting words like that is we all know what the word is.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
So I
saying
don't
the
wanna
same
hear
thing.
anything.
You know?
Like close friends, you know, like in the Navy they were black. And once in a while I don't stick up for them. Like, I'm just tired, you know, and I'm not going to do it today. And it bugs me like a motherfucker. I mean, all right, this one, I was going to vote at a Green Party shirt on. So it's like double betrayal. I'm in line, and that fucking potato comes up. Everybody's talking about the potato and Chapachet. Remember that, right? And one guy goes, well, I don't like it because of its color. That's what he goes. And he looks at all of us, and we're all supposed to, like, agree. And, like, we're like
God.
and I was like, when I was driving out of there, I went, motherfucker. I was like, what the fuck? Usually I won't deal, I won't have it, right? But, so anyway, that shit, like, fucking hurts. That's all I got to say about it. It sucks.
Yeah, remember I told you that story about when I was down in DC and the guy was trying to include me in on his racism. And, you know, I thought of a million things I could have said later. You know, the thing I said was, why? Because he's big. But I could have, you know, after I
You could have
left,
said, shut the fuck up.
I could have said a lot of things that I thought of after I left. Why did I say this? Why did I say that? You know, that was the first thing that popped into my mind. He
Yeah.
got the message, but
Yeah.
I wished I had said something better, you know?
So you know what
Or I
I mean?
should have just come out and said, hey, don't include me on your bullshit.
Yeah,
you know?
I almost joined. Like I didn't unjoin. Like, you know what I mean? It really bugged me, that one. That was like, I really didn't want to fucking deal with it. There's way too many of them too, but still. It's bugging me now. It's like it happened yesterday now.
Yeah.
Fuck. Dickhead. Motherfucker. Oh, I thought of a laughing one, right? I don't know, like, you'll probably, maybe you'll like this. You remember, like, when Geraldine and your wife used to, like, talk about, like, a guy that was, they call him a yee?
Oh,
Yee.
yeah.
Yeah. But I'm picturing them go, like, you walk up to him, they look at you and go, yee. So, anyway, there's one. I was losing it the other day. I remembered that. A yee.
It's another example of the 80-20 rule.
Yee.
What's the 80-20 rule?
Well, women, maybe always, but especially because of social media, is a 80%, 20% rule that 80% of the women are only after 20% of the guys that are out there, and they won't settle for anything less. And so they call all the rest of the guys incels and stuff, and not worth paying attention to. And that you are less of a woman if you pay attention to any of the the 80% of the men that they don't deem attractive or worth your while.
You mean the ones that make them go, yee?
That's right, exactly. The ones that make. But the thing is that, so even, women that you wouldn't, pay any attention to, they're still after the same, 20% of the guys. And the same guys that are on that tier aren't even looking for long-term relationships because they can have any of the women if they wanted to. So I don't know, it's a whole social thing. If you look around, that they're always discussing it, considered viable anymore. So unless you have money, and then see, money puts you in that 20% category too. It doesn't matter your looks so much sometimes if you have the
Doesn't
money
matter
or your
if
age or your age.
Asshole or anything. If you have money, you're there.
Mm-hmm.
You're there.
That's that book I just read. That's what it's all about. They're all just rich motherfuckers. And they're marrying, it's that again. I don't know why I keep running into that lately. Rich people are marrying rich people.
At least it wasn't the Count de Saint Germain. Count of Monte Cristo is not the Count of Saint Germain.
What's that one?
This is a totally different story.
Yeah.
You ever hear the legend of the Comte de Saint Germain?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't
He-
know.
Oh, yeah,
he's,
man.
Not off the top.
My son did the whole series about Saint Germain.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Though.
Yeah. And stories have been written about, fanciful stories about.
There's cults built around him where he's one of the illuminated ones, or
The Illuminati.
not the Illuminati. What is he? What do they call them? The Ascended Masters. He's one of the Ascended
Yeah.
Masters.
Ooh, that sounds heavy.
Yeah, Jesus is one of the Ascended Masters
Oh
too.
no. Big J. Did they like get together every year in like Switzerland?
Well, that's the Illuminati. It's just a little different than the Ascended Masters.
Yeah.
Although maybe there's some, to get a Venn diagram, there's probably some crossover there. Who knows?
I just read 2 books on that, and I've lost track already.
Is
It's too
Sequoia
much.
producing any more of these specials? Or
Yeah, he's going to be doing some more stuff. He reactivated his Patreon, and he's putting stuff on that. His Substack, he's doing the Substack thing. But I think he's going to be producing more podcast content, under a different podcast, and making a zine too. He's got a bunch of these people that listen to all his podcasts, and they had a Discord group, and there's a bunch of really creative people in that group, and they're putting together a zine.
We should do a zine.
A zine.
they were the podcasts before podcasts.
Dark web.
Doc Mail. Doc Catalog.
Remember, there was that catalog. There was a dark catalog.
Oh yeah.
The Lumpanix catalog.
Yep. I
That
still
was-
have books that I ordered from that.
Would
Yeah.
you order
I ordered some books.
some books?
The Alchemist's cookbook, and some real banned stuff that you couldn't get anymore. Like how to convert guns into automatic weapons
Ooh,
and things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And, stuff like that.
I'm not posting this fucking video.
That was. Oh, you're not supposed to say guns. You're supposed to say pew pews.
Pew pew. The pew pew.
Well,
line.
All right, like, so I maybe not so much on like YouTube and stuff like that, but like on those TikTok shorts, you'll see those are a lot. They're all very heavily edited when they say things like kill and
Yeah,
suicide,
I know.
other things, and like you can they dub out words and think keywords that get banned and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
What are you doing?
Kind of try and get outside and either
It's cloudy.
hike or paddle. If it's not windy, I'll paddle. If it's windy, I'll hike. I'm trying to get into shape. Trying to exercise more. I spent the whole fall like either working or sitting in a tree stand. So I got real out of shape during the fall.
Yeah, but you got
So-
physical work though. I mean, your job is very physical. in a lot of
Yeah, that's
ways.
why I'm trying to I've got work coming up that I have to get in shape for. I got to work out so I can go to work.
Gotta warm up. Gotta stretch.
So I don't blow my back out again or hurt my neck again, or
That's how I
got to
approach
get my
everything now.
aerobics in place, because I'm going to be going up and down ladders, lifting big heavy things in place. And sometimes when I'm really badly out of shape and that happens, I start to have strange things go on in my chest, So
Hey, Mike.
So Dave, what do you got, a sporting event coming up this afternoon that you're gonna be watching, or you got some
yeah, what are you doing,
football or
Dave?
baseball games to watch?
I don't know. You guys want to do something? I could drive
Hey,
up. I need to.
hey, we got less than a minute, and I wanted to mention there's a supernova we're going to see in the next couple of days, if it hasn't already happened. It happens every 3,000
Oh,
years.
that's what you were talking about.
And
there was an eclipse this morning, and it was cloudy.
we
Yes.
should go to we should go to the top of Jeremoth Hill to see this thing.
Well, today
It's
ain't the day for
called-
that. There's not even a weekend for it.
Corone Borealis. Look it up.
Ooh.
Now, is it a I mean, we'll be able to see it for days or just an
Yeah,
instant?
you'll be able to see it for several days with the naked eye, and then you'll be able to see it with the binocs.
All right, let's keep an eye on the weather, and maybe we can make a date. You know?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Have a good one.
Like and subscribe.